So this is how the courts and judges, law, courthouses, they all get their teachings and everything we do in law by the Bible. So they know God's spiritual laws. So if you want to know anything about law, I would recommend reading Exodus, and it'll tell you everything on how judges, courthouses, and how the law came about. And it all started with Moses and Moses, his father-in-law. So the court of law runs off of the same spiritual laws that God was putting in, and Moses was the leader for it. It lets us know right here in Exodus 13, 18:13. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning unto the evening. And when Moses rather in law say all that he did all to the people, he said, What is this that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning until evening? So you know how it is when you go to court, you'll get there at 9 in the morning. Sometimes you won't even leave till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you have all these people there that are there getting judged by the judge. Kind of explains right there how Moses' father-in-law was saying, hey, all these people are here talking to you from the morning till evening. And it continues with this. And Moses said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire God. When they have a manner, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws. So pretty much basically they were coming to Moses because they had disputes within each other, and Moses was letting them know, hey, well, God says this, and God is the law, and this is God's laws. What we got to understand is men, our own selves, that deceive others, and we deceive ourselves too, and we're in our fallen nature. We want to be judges. We want to make the laws. We want to rule the courthouses, us men. And that's all he's telling us was there was a righteous man that God appointed, and that was Moses, to judge the people righteously. And now you understand why they make us put our right hand on the Bible and say, I swear to God to tell the truth and all that stuff. I don't know it by heart like that, but they make you put your hands on the Bible because it's God and they know God's spiritual law. So now it continues. Thou wilt surely weary away both thou and this people that is with thee, for this thing is too heavy for thee until art not able to perform in thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. But thou for the people to God worry, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. So Moses' father-in-law was telling Moses, like, hey, listen up, Moses. This might be a little bit too much for you to handle. You're getting too tired. Why don't you try to appoint people to rule over and help you judge the people correctly according to God's law? See, as we read, me trying to get my understanding from God is I don't know if that was a big no-no. I don't know if Moses really should have listened to his father-in-law. I can't really say too much. This is what the Bible is letting us know, how these, court of law came, judges, laws, and courthouses and lawyers and all these people came involved, and why do we have to put our right hand on the Bible and say a speech and make an oath to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, and we make an oath towards God. So I'm just explaining this. I'm just a messenger. I'm just a preacher preaching this to you guys of what God's been showing me as I read this Bible and I take step by step with him and try to learn more of what God is about, what Jesus Christ's story is about, what this Bible is telling us, and what we can learn from it. So I get on here and I try to share it with you guys. So now when we keep going into the chapter, and thou shalt teach them ordinance and laws, and thou shalt show them the way where they must walk and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And let thy judge the people at all seasons, And it shall be that every great matter shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they too shall bear the burden with thee. So he's letting us know, see, they wanted God fearing men to go rule and judge over the people. Nowadays, I don't know if everybody sees what's going on in America, but underneath the rug and what they like to hide is it really a fair system? Because God's laws is telling us that it's a fair trial, a fair court of law that He judges us on. But man came and took it over and wanted to judge us. A lot of men don't fear God. A lot of our judges don't fear God. A lot of our court systems, they don't even pertain to God. They don't even like God. They like to deny our Father, our Abba, our true creator of this universe and us. They like to deny it. So how can we say that these men are God fearing and they're going to judge us? So now you get that only God can judge me statement. But definitely take a look at Exodus 18. I'll let you know how judges and everything came about. What really brought me to this was I'm going through a court case myself, and that's for my debt. So I got into debt because I wanted to follow Jesus Christ. I wanted to pick up my Bible and I wanted to follow him. So I was using credit cards to survive and not having enough faith in our Father that he was going to provide for me. That was my mistake, my bad. I ended up going into debt. So now the credit card company wants to sue me. They've been trying to sue me for the last 3 years. It keeps getting denied. I keep putting my faith in God that he's going to take everything care of. And just recently, I seen that the judge dismissed my case without prejudice. So once I started looking into what prejudice is, meaning they can come back and reinstate the case again further down the line. But it's kind of odd how they named it prejudice. So why do our court of laws and everything that has to do with the law system refer to biblical principles? Because everything is based on this Bible. So people can't say this ain't the truth. They're just too ignorant to want to understand God and his principles, and they don't want to believe. But it's all here. That's my story that I can tell you guys from what I learned. And now it just pushes me forward to want to know the law and be an advocate for all my people out here. So just quick heads up. Peace and blessings.